What's next? I was meditating on the concept of shadow people and wanted to know what exactly they are. And this is what I got, my information that I received. And everything I say is not concrete, it's not written in stone, it's just what I got from my perspective, and I welcome anyone else's perspective. And if you find anything I say, just comment, like, subscribe. I mean, I don't mind a little bit of criticism just so I can learn. I'm here to learn, basically. And when it comes to shadow people are basically entities, beings who survive off negative energy. They survive off fear and all the associated energies, emotions that come from fear, like hate, like anger, like sadness. Right now, shadow people, they're having their optimum time right now, because hate and anger and sadness and bitterness and rivalry and misunderstanding, it's running rampant in this world. And it's kind of sad, but everything comes in cycles. And the shadow people, it's their time, I guess, for a little while. Now, a little bit more complicated. Are shadow people evil? Well, no. Only because shadow people have no choice. They feed off fear. Fear is their energy source. Fear is their food source. So they have no other choice. And although they are intelligent, they're manipulative, they have no choice. They just feed off fear, and that's their only lifestyle. That's all they know. Now, on the other hand, people who work with them, people who use shadow people, they're evil, because we as humans, we have choices. We can work with the negative, we can work with the positive, and we can just do what's right for everybody. Well, if you're working with shadow people, you're helping them achieve their goal. And unfortunately for anyone who works with shadow people, there's a price to pay. Now, in order for me to get a shadow person to appear on video, I'd have to work with them, and I'd have to, give it in their best interest to show up on video. And unfortunately, that would make me evil, and I'm not going to deal with shadow people. I've dealt with them before, and I'm not going to deal with them again. So, how shadow people appear is they'll appear like in old-fashioned hats, trench coats, kind of spooky, because shadow people are all kind of 50 to 100 years behind the times. They know what worked before, and they're going to keep using that. And although they're intelligent, they're still stuck in their old ways. And so they're always going to appear a little bit behind the times, a little bit old-fashioned. I mean, as time goes on, they're going to come more and more, appear more and more modern, but again, it'll be behind the times. And also, excuse me, shadow people don't exactly want to be seen flat, face to face. They want to be seen in the periphery, they want to be spooky, kind of the mystery kind of thing. Mystery is much more scarier than straight on, because shadow people survive off negative energy, and they gotta get it wherever they can, and they don't want to waste too much energy making a perfect form, so they want to appear as a shadow, kind of a silhouette, kind of far away but close enough to give you concern, show some fear. But those who are open to them, open themselves up to shadow people, well, they'll work with them. The shadow person will tell them, like, as a kind of like a guide, they'll guide them on how to do these certain things. but everything they tell them is going to be negative. It's going to be towards hatred. It's going to be towards anger. It's going to cause them to be hated by others and utilize their hate for others. So that's why shadow people right now are very strong, and they're going everywhere they can. And they're going to use as much energy, and they're going to be centralized where more hate is. It's just how they work. Now, shadow people are weak. They're not at all powerful. They'll try to convince you that they are. They want to scare you. They want to intimidate you. But they're extremely weak. And they're easily defeated. But there's only one way to defeat them. And that's using compassion. You have to show compassion towards an entity which you see as evil. But like I said before, they themselves are not evil. They do evil things. Working with them is an evil act. But they themselves are just doing what they can to get the energy they want. So you have to feel pity and compassion. I want to say love, but love has lust and it's been corrupted. Love used to have multiple different words for it. But compassion is the best word because you want to feel sorry for them. You want to try to give them positive, compassionate energy. You want to be able to listen to them compassionately. Any hate they give, you want to transmit it into love, compassion, positive energy. And honestly, to a shadow person, that is like acid. It burns them. They hate it. Positive, compassionate energy is the one thing that they cannot tolerate, and they will go away. They will stay away from you. They will leave you alone. Case in point, I was constantly being followed by shadow people, and then my guides stopped me when they become stronger, and they said to me flat out, don't show fear. Show love, show compassion, show joy towards them. Tell them that you want to help them, that you want to improve their lives, that you want to bring them up to a positive, higher state. And that caused it to back off and go away. But because I was working with, just in the beginning, they decided to ramp things up, and they sent me a very large entity, probably about 25, 30 feet tall. It was huge. It's about 3 meters, about 10 meters tall. I'm gonna say 10 meters tall. It was enormous. But I was with a girl at the time who was also just tapping into the energies. And she was like, oh, what is that? And I told her flat out, this is lying, quite honestly. I told her, that's a dragon, but it's weak. That's why it looks like a shadow. Let's send it as much compassionate, loving energy as possible. And the two of us sent it compassionate, loving energy. And once it happened, the thing literally flew away. And she was so happy. She was so joy-filled because she's always loved dragons. She wanted to see a dragon. And this is more of the European style of dragon. This was a long time ago. Not so much the Chinese version of dragons, but the European. And and she said, could we think we'll see it again? I said, well, as long as you show as much compassion and love, this dragon will come back and thank you. And so it was kind of a manipulative thing, and lying is wrong, but I chose the most quickest way to not have her show any fear towards this very large entity. I mean, it was huge, and it was, honestly, it was scary thinking back. But again, my guide says, no, don't show any fear. Show compassion. Right now, compassion. And I was with a girl who was just testing her waters, and she might have been more opportune towards the negative side of things because it's just testing the waters here and there. but I expressed that compassion and love will always help all entities. That even any negative entity, if you give it love and compassion, it'll help it towards the light. And, she fell off with the psychic stuff after a while, went towards religion, and that's not for me to judge. It's just how things are. But those are my experiences with shadow people, and I haven't dealt with them a long time. But I was thinking about them recently because I heard someone talking about how, I think it was Coast to Coast AM, they had someone filming a shadow person. And I got to thinking about, well, man, I remember those shadow people used to fight against, I guess. I wasn't working with, I just kind of sent them away because they were following me around for a while. And I think we're people who are more in tune with the psychic stuff. I think we're more of a target because our energies are different. And, if we're more positive and we show a little bit of negativity, well, the shadow people, there's not too many negative entities that are going to hang around a positive person. So if a positive person starts showing a little bit of negative energy, shadow people who are waiting for opportunities, who are manipulating the situation as they can, will jump at the chance to, give us some fear, give us some anger, give us some sadness. Also, here's another important piece of information that I should have probably brought up earlier. In order to have a shadow person in your life, you have to invite them in. So if you have a shadow person in your life, you invited them in, and you might say, oh, I didn't invite them, I didn't do anything to bring them to me. Unfortunately, they will manipulate situations, they'll give you opportunities, they'll appear as something else, and they're always going to give you the truth, but it's going to be truth to be hidden in layers of lies. It's going to tell you what you want to hear. So you're going to miss the true truth. You're just going to hear what you want to hear. But again, these are my ideas, and I welcome any insight from anyone else. I might want to record this again because my phone keeps phasing out. I've recorded this 4 times already, and I might have to cut things together and manipulate things. I don't know what I recorded and what I didn't, but it's all experience. And having a phone that is temperamental is just part of life, I guess. But those are my ideas. What's yours? What's next?